Welcome to Garage Talk. As always, I'm Conrad. Let's go.
I'm Ted. Time to rock and roll.
Hey, Teddy. Today in the garage, we have a couple of ladies here to promote prom. Please introduce yourselves.
Shallan Little, art teacher at Mississinawa High School and junior class representative.
I'm Cathie Jo Childs, and I taught for Mississinawa for 25 years. I still sub a little, and I am her assistant for prom and junior class assistant rep.
Nice.
Fantastic. So tell us about prom in 2024.
Prom in 2024. Well, we started prom in 2024 back at the beginning of the school year when they elected the junior class officers. We got a great bunch of kids this year, and from there we just start raising money. We did finally, right around Christmas time, get a theme, and our theme this year is Through the Looking Glass. So we're doing an Alice in Wonderland theme, and that's kind of the process every year. We get our group of kids, and we have a pre-approved set of themes, and then they get to pick from those, and then we just have fun with it. We have a blast.
Prom's coming fast.
It is April 13th this year. We were hoping to make it a little later, a little closer to graduation, but it got bumped up slightly. So, yeah, it's coming on us real fast.
So, Mrs. Childs, what's been the biggest struggle?
Fundraising this year.
Fundraising.
Some years it's real easy, and some years it's harder.
Mm-hmm.
We start out right before homecoming, and she designs the homecoming T-shirts, and we started making big money at that when we opened it up to the public.
Yeah.
Okay.
Used to be it was just we sold to the students at the high school, and now anybody in the Mississinawa community can have a homecoming T-shirt.
Yeah. We've gotten one every year as far as I can remember.
Thank you for supporting
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it used to be just a class color thing because Mississinawa is awesome with homecoming. We rock homecoming unlike other schools. And when we first started doing the homecoming T-shirts, it was just the class color thing. And I'm like, if we made a red shirt, we could sell it to the other schools. And we started there, and then all of a sudden we went, I wonder if we opened it up to let the community order, how that would go. And that has become our biggest fundraiser. But we like to go big on prom. It's kind of like go big or go home as
Yeah.
far as prom goes.
They deserve it, right?
Absolutely. We spend quite a bit to make prom the best we can, and we do it there at Mississinawa in the auxiliary gym, which is a wonderful venue for us. And keep it all kind of enclosed and everything. But my whole goal every year is to make it so that the kids don't realize that they're walking into a gymnasium. We want it to be a different experience. We get air fresheners to make it so that it doesn't smell like a gym. We disguise things. We try to make it so that they walk in and go, this is our gym. I've never been here before. And make it magical.
We also try to make it so that everybody can come.
Yeah.
We brought the ticket price way down.
Yeah, when we took
it
over.
We had heard that there were some parents out in town that were having anti-prom parties because they couldn't afford for the kids to have a tux and an expensive dress and
pictures and
tickets
dinner.
and pictures and dinner and everything. So we brought it way down, and we promised that we would keep it down.
And we have not raised the prices for the tickets when they first come out. We always have couples at $25, and a couple is two friends or a brother and sister. I have a lot of brother and sisters and going together this year. A lot of underclassmen that get to go because their older siblings going to prom. I can't imagine wanting to take a sibling when I was in high school.
We don't.
No way. No way.
Times have changed.
They really have.
We don't ask them who their date is anymore.
No, we don't
say,
care.
Who are you taking?
Who you taking? Who you taking? Because we want them to get that discount. It's $25 for a couple. It's $15 for a single. And then I always have a cutoff date where I have to raise the prices, hopefully so that they buy their tickets earlier. I've tried to get it into those kids' head. If you buy it early, you're saving money. And we also they get a prom T-shirt if they buy their tickets early. So this year the cutoff is actually tomorrow's the last day. So right before spring break. for the 25 to 15, and then it goes up $15. Or not $15,
$10.
$10, sorry.
Now, what other kind of
And-
fundraisers do you guys do, though?
We fundraise 8 months.
Yeah, we
well,
do.
7 months out of the year.
At Christmas time, I sell candy canes to the kids, 50 cents a candy cane.
I bought some.
Yeah. I'm sure
Actually,
you have.
I think I just donated $2, and I was like, I don't need them.
Well, the kids love that. That is always their favorite time is at Christmas time because we get the weirdest flavors we can possibly get. The
And
weirder
that's what
the
they want.
flavor, if it changes the color of their mouth,
Or, yeah, makes their lips blue.
makes their lips blue, those sell out so fast to those kids. But 50 cents a candy cane, and then my favorite fundraiser is around February, and it's still kind of going because it's trickling out. I'm selling off, but I tell them that at February I sell suckers for Valentine's Valentine's is for suckers.
I like it.
And I also have ring pops at that time
It's
too.
a made-up holiday,
It is a
right?
made-up holiday. Valentine's is
Yeah.
for suckers. But I also sell ring pops to them, and then I tell the kids, you need to put a ring on it as they're walking by. You should, yeah, that girlfriend of yours, she needs a ring, and they'll look, oh, I want a ring pop. So,
You're constantly thinking, aren't you?
we are constantly
So-
thinking.
She spends every lunch.
I have prep, 5th period prep, so
Mm-hmm.
I sit out there and sell to the kids candy and right now it's candy and tickets because I'm trying to sell off the rest of my suckers.
Yeah.
And tickets is not an ordeal, but it's a big thing because it's all
You got to get it right. Yeah, I
on
have a form.
the database, and we have the kids and their phone number and an emergency phone number just in case, and shirt sizes and
Whether their date is from here or outside of the school system, that's an important one because then they have to have paperwork because we check all the dates just
Okay.
to make sure you got to be under 21.
nobody 21 or over.
We got to make sure that we're not bringing anybody into the school that would be a problem. We want everybody safe, which goes into after prom. That's all about keeping the kids safe.
Yeah.
Um,
And we help with that anytime we can, because we keep that after prom changes every year because it's the parents.
yeah, parents
And
do
junior
after prom.
class parents. And so we kind of are keepers of this list and that list that they'll need.
Okay.
And so we do some advising for them, and we haven't had to the last 2 years because Brian Wardinger has been doing
Wardinger
it.
has been awesome.
He's fabulous.
And I keep telling him next year I'm going to have a junior. That hurts. That physically hurts. Not just the fact that my kid's getting older, but the fact that I don't want to have to do prom and after prom. Oh, that's a lot of work.
Oh, you're on.
I am on. I don't get to sleep that year. But I keep telling Brian Wardinger, it's like, man, it'd be really nice if you just go ahead and do after prom for me next year. And he's like, no, after prom's all you next year.
I've chaperoned after prom.
It is
And-
an ordeal.
I'm to that age where 10 o'clock is
Yeah.
10 o'clock's my bedtime, and I very seldom get past that now.
Oh.
Teddy?
Now my question is, okay, so do you have security there, or
Yes.
is it just the chaperones, the parents, or do you have?
No, we always here's the thing. You guys are dads. We always tell the parents that come in to do after prom that we really like to have dads of girls show up.
Yeah.
Because dads of girls have a different set of rules than dads of boys.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they really
Yeah.
watch those kids.
A whole different set of rules.
For prom itself is completely contained.
It is completely
Okay.
canned. They can't go out and come back in, but we usually hire 2 cops.
Always, yeah.
And I think I should know this but I think it's the same cops do prom and after prom.
Yes, yes.
So they get paid to be there. They come in their uniforms and they stand there ominously and watch those kids. But the whole point is to give them a fun night, to give them an experience. I know I remember my prom. Did you guys go to prom?
Yeah,
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it an experience?
it was pretty awesome.
It was pretty awesome.
I had a great time.
Did you?
Yeah.
My date fell asleep. So,
Well, that sounds like a perfect date for a father.
That for a father, yeah.
For a father, like he fell asleep. So
I took it personally. So,
I know that when I was in high school, I went to one prom. I was awkward high schooler. Unfortunately, I always apologize to Miss Cinewell people. I went to Marion. I got here as soon as we could.
as soon as we could.
But it is a downfall in my character that I'm a Marion graduate. But I went to Marion's prom, and then my husband, I went to his prom at Kokomo. And Marion's prom wasn't at the high school. And I always thought that was kind of unfortunate.
It was at a hotel.
Yeah, it was at a
That's a
hotel.
bad
I
idea.
thought that was kind of crass. And my husband's prom at Kokomo was at Kokomo High School, and I thought that was really cool. And then when I got the opportunity to do prom, I thought I like that experience of it being there and giving the kids the memory of it being there, but making it just transcend what they're used to, and a formal giving the kids that opportunity of getting all dressed up. And I tell the other chaperones, I'm like, guys, you got to come. These kids, when you see them all dressed up and so proud of how they look, and you know, wearing high heels for the first 2 minutes that they're there, and
Doesn't last very long.
you know, getting to experience that is just really cool. There's no other word for it.
And we take care of them too. Girls have a tendency to hide in the bathroom and cry.
And cry, yeah.
And they've spent all this money on a dress and been all excited for months and everything, and then one little thing will go wrong, and they sit in the bathroom and cry.
Yeah.
So we set up tables with everything they possibly could need in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's safety pins, there's bobby pins, there's
Deodorant.
mirrors, there's deodorant, there's mints. Everything a girl could need. We put a lot less in the boys' room, but
Yeah.
a lot more spray deodorant.
They get smelly in a tux.
Yeah, the synthetic tux get to smell and kind
You
of-
get out there and dance and get to moving around, man. That synthetic fabric, man, it just
Yeah.
holds it in.
it holds it right in, doesn't it?
So how long have you been doing this now?
Is this our 8th year?
I think this is our 8th year. I was
Wow,
I was
okay.
counting
She
through
worked on
past
it.
tickets.
She worked on it before that, just as the art teacher.
I was just the art teacher helping out, and then I was the assistant. I was you for a while. I was,
for 1 year.
one or 2 years, I think. I think it was technically 2 years.
But since you've been doing it, has it always been at the high school? Because I can remember when I went, ours was at Ball State.
Yeah, that seems like a long way to ask the high schoolers to drive. I would love to do that if we had that opportunity.
I don't want to take the props out.
I don't want to take the props that far.
That would be a long.
the
You
first
need
year-
to travel like. You'd need a roadie,
Yes.
somebody to take
Yeah.
the set up and down.
Yeah, and that tear down. Ooh. The very first year that her and I did it, we did it.
We
at
didn't have
the
enough time
Armory.
to get. Well, we didn't have the oxygen then, did we?
I feel like we had the oxygen, but we didn't have it
We
scheduled
got
in
it at
time.
the Armory because that was the cheapest place I could.
And we
I
like
could
to
find.
we like to have our own like foods and drinks and stuff. And so many of the venues they're fabulous. We've got some great venues around here. We really do.
Yeah.
But a
They're
lot of them have
limited.
stipulation, like you have to have their lemonade or their cookies, and we want to do it different every year. The first year we had a theme of her and I did it.
Circus.
We had a circus theme, so we wanted popcorn and cotton candy, and
The Armory let us do anything we wanted to
yeah,
do.
2 years ago we had the Titanic theme. Well, it was excuse me, I say that wrong. We had Ship of Dreams because we decided naming it Titanic would probably be bad. We didn't want it to crash. Sink. That would be
Good
bad.
thinking,
So
good
we called it
thinking.
the Ship of Dreams. But I have a sick sense of humor. I really do. So we had snow cones.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Made from an iceberg?
Yeah.
No? Oh,
We
okay.
had some wonderful RJB
Okay.
staff that came and helped us with that, making the snow cones. And we had a snow cone machine, and they got real sticky making those for the kids and handing them out.
But it was fun. The kids
Yeah.
loved it.
They did. And we always have like personal drinks instead of having a punch bowl.
Yeah.
Because we
You don't
don't
want-
want any of that 1980s movie theme thing where they spike the punch. We want, everything to be sober. I know, I'm
She's
sorry.
talking 19, that's when I went to high school. Man, that's what we did.
So we always have some sort of like individual drinks, and my husband, God bless his soul, stands there and opens their drinks up and hands them their drink. Like
a
he's
great
the bartender.
guy.
Yeah, don't tell him I said that.
Oh,
though. We'll keep it
I won't.
between us.
He's gonna watch it.
Yeah.
His name is Caleb Little.
Oh, poor guy.
Good job, Caleb.
But what was really funny, this is my favorite joke about prom and my husband opening drinks, is that he stood there for years opening these glass bottles with a bottle opener and handing them their drink. And then I came up to him one year and just twisted it off because they were twist offs all along, but he didn't know it. So it was great. He's like, you mean to tell me I've been standing here for years popping these lids off and handing these kids these drinks?
You know what? I would have stayed with it.
It looks better that way.
Just
Yeah,
to,
that's-
just to,
Oh,
you
he
know
does.
what?
Yeah, he
I would have
does.
just
He
kept
does.
open.
But I said, I always wondered why you went to all the trouble.
He's very extra.
He's
Is that what-
extra. Yeah, he's extra. He's the
All right.
bartender.
Yeah.
Now, something else that might be important, pictures.
Pictures.
Do you guys have
yes.
a photographer on
We
site, or do you have
We
one of them
have a
photo
photographer.
booths?
No,
We finally got
we
somebody
finally
we
got a
want.
good photographer to help us out. We had the same. Yeah, we had the same group that would take school pictures, and what we'd find is that because they weren't from around here and they didn't know our kids, they weren't making sure the kids' eyes were open and stuff. And you can't redo that. You can't redo that. So we have gotten a photographer, and she's awesome, and she comes in, and she makes sure their pictures are just beautiful.
I know her first name's Tammy.
Yep, Tammy Owens. Tammy Owens comes in and does our pictures, and she gives the good kids a much better price than what we've had in the past.
Shout out Tammy
Yeah.
Owens.
Yeah, she's awesome. And in fact, she just sent me the paperwork, and I'm going to get that printed out and start getting their paperwork out to them so that they can bring in their checks, or everybody does Cash App anymore.
Right.
So they always
PayPal,
Yeah.
Venmo,
I don't know
all
how many
that.
kids are like, do you take PayPal, Mrs. Little?
Apple Pay.
No, I don't. I'm old school. I take cash and check, please. And a
And I
check.
put together the deposits.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Not to get off subject, but I've caught myself getting annoyed with someone who was writing a check in front of me at the grocery store, and I acted like I had somewhere to be.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, now she's got to take time to rip it out. But yeah, go
Remember
ahead.
the days when
Yeah.
you had to write all that?
Yeah.
But yeah, these kids look at me like I've lost my mind when I tell them I take check. Just bring me the cash, guys.
Signature.
Yeah, I'll write in their signature.
Yeah.
But
You know what I've seen that is probably out of the price range, but they have those 360.
oh,
you stand-
I'd love to do that.
Oh my gosh, those look so cool.
One of these days, we'll,
See,
we'll
360
get there.
camera, man, goes all the way around. It
That-
hits all your wonderful side steady.
Oh, that would be cool. That'd be something that I should make Derek Gowan get into,
Yes.
figuring that out with his Tribe TV. Tell him that he has to come out and make
Just
that
hook it on
happen.
a string.
Just swirl it around their heads.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, the Gowans, they help us so much.
They're doing their DJs again this year, which saves us a lot of money.
It does, and they're awesome DJs.
And
Who
they-
would have thought we had a history teacher and the Tribe TV teacher would be the ones to go to give us some music.
Before
going.
that, we would have trouble with DJs that would, even though we told them not to, they'd take suggestions, requests and stuff, and that is always bad. And we would give them a list of songs that they were not to play, and they would play those.
Yeah, we have to make sure everything's, school appropriate. We want the kids
Yeah.
to enjoy the music they like, and the Gowans are really good about, getting the music, but getting a school appropriate cut to the music.
Well, the whole thing about, like, after prom especially, is after prom, to keep them off the streets, keep them, not drinking, not drugging, not messing around.
Yeah.
And having fun. So we let them dress up and have a good time at prom. Then they go home for an hour, and then they come back for after prom. And there are games and prizes.
So many prizes.
And so many prizes,
Yeah.
And food and
Yeah. The biggest difference between prom and after prom, though, is the way they raise money. After prom goes out and asks for donations, and a lot of the businesses around here are awesome for giving donations and helping out, and donations as prizes and money towards taking care of food and stuff like that. It's been great. The prom, on the other hand, we literally go through and raise it all ourselves. We don't like to have to ask for donations for prom because people tend to not understand that there is a difference in the money. You know, I've had parents like, I'm helping with prom. I'm like, you're chaperoning at prom? No, I'm at after prom. I'm like, then you're helping with after prom. You're not helping. I make a very distinct cutoff between the two because the money does not change over at all.
And this year, we will take donations.
Yeah, this year
we're a little short.
Yeah.
If anybody out there has a donation.
Yeah, if you want to donate to prom, yeah. But yeah, last year's prom, we went big last year. We did Star Wars, which is near and dear to my heart. I love me some Star Wars. I am that kind of nerd.
She builds everything or paints everything so that our costs stays down.
We had a Millennium Falcon up there in the oxygen.
We had the bottom.
Okay, they couldn't see the top. They didn't know that there was no top.
So there was no top?
There was no top.
It was high in the gym. You didn't need it.
We had TIE fighters. We had cutouts of different characters up on the. We slid the bleachers back some and put them up there.
It's all temporary art. It only has to last a few hours.
Yeah, just a little while. So.
There is quite a video of the Millennium Falcon coming down from the upstairs loft in the art department.
Yeah. Thank goodness for that wonderful art department with the loft upstairs. I'm telling you.
What, 12, 13 people walked it down
to the gym. You should see that photograph, that video of it going down the.
It's fabulous.
And
So
my
you have
short little assistant here going, yeah, I'm helping.
You have a behind-the-scenes videographer? That would be real cool to take a look.
Yeah.
That we have done, one year we tried to do a time-lapse video. I never.
During prom itself?
Well, for the setup.
Oh, yeah.
Because we set it up in just a couple of days. We shut down the Oxygen and set it all up in a couple of days. And then it all has to be torn down that night.
Oh.
By the time they come back for after prom,
It's
they
gone.
They look back down the hall to the
Oxygen.
Oxygen and they're, what happened to it? It's gone, baby.
The magic is over.
I was gonna ask you that when you said after prom, everybody has to leave for an hour. I'm like, so are you guys scrambling?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to change it all?
Oh, yeah, we have a crew, thank you, Jesus, every year.
Yes.
And it comes down fast.
It
Just
takes
like
a
a-
village.
Costume change at a concert. So, how'd you come up with the name and theme for this year?
During the summer,
process.
yeah, my assistant here, my wonderful assistant, and I couldn't do anything without her.
I do a lot of searching on the internet for trending prom themes.
Yeah.
Look at you.
And then she
I put
sets it
together
up,
a list.
yeah, and
We
gives it to
We give it to admin, and
okay.
they okay it or not. And sometimes they give us stipulations, don't do this or say these words for that one or this one.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a go ahead.
Yeah.
And
Then we let the kids vote on it. It has to be the junior class officers. So
and only them.
yeah, and we are known to tell them, you know, if the other kids wanted opinions, they should have run for class officer. This is on you guys. You do it. You own it. You know.
And we tell them not to, once they've decided, we tell them not to share until at least February, March when we
release the theme.
because there's always somebody wants to tell them, oh, I'm not coming if it's that, you know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and it hurts your feelings.
It hurts their feelings, and we don't want their feelings hurt.
If it's that, I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, and they will.
Okay.
Girls are brutal.
Yeah, girls are brutal. but we decide on that, and then when they decided on this theme, we had several, do you want it just straight up Alice in Wonderland? Do you want it Prom in Wonderland? So there was several different versions.
We give them choices.
Yeah, and then they all decided that Through the Looking Glass was what they liked.
And once we narrowed it down, usually 4, sometimes 3 for them to choose, I'll go through and Pinterest a whole bunch of different ideas so that we can put it up on the screen and show them.
Yeah.
And so that they have an idea of what she can do and what she can't.
Last year it was hilarious because we had more
Mostly
boys than we've ever had on our junior class officers. And they came in and went, it's got to be Star Wars. You've got to make Star Wars happen.
That wasn't one of our
It wasn't one of
choices.
our choices. And we went to admin and we're like, okay, these boys want this bad. And they're like, okay, all right, we'll let this happen. And the weird thing was we didn't have a title. Last year's was literally Prom Episode 2023 in Roman numerals. So, because we wanted to keep everything that Star Wars feel to it. So.
Yeah. So, are you going to be offended if next year they say, hey, I want to do Star Trek?
It would take the right group of nerdy kids, I think. Now, I do know that my son does enjoy running for class officer, and I have a feeling because he's a Star Wars nerd that he would probably vote down Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
I like Star Trek. I like both.
Yeah.
Well, I like Dune.
Dune's good.
So anyway,
I would love to do like a Pandora theme. I think that would be a cool prom theme. But there's some that we have that on the back of our minds that we're like, one of these days we're gonna have the right group of kids for this.
I think you guys are gonna have a great prom this year.
I hope so.
And hopefully, some of our sponsors see this and reach out to you. If you have contact information that you would like to share.
Call the high school.
Call the high
They can
school.
call the high school. They can, my email is, my first name's, Shallan.
Wait a minute. cjchilds111@gmail.com. That one's easier.
That one's easier, yeah. And then mine
like
is Shallan, SHALLAN_little at olemiss.k12.in.us.
And if they call the school, make sure that they say it's for prom and not after prom.
Yeah.
It's got to be allocated properly.
Yes.
It's 2 different funds.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 different funds
Yeah. Yeah. You
for
gotta-
two different types of fun.
it is 2 different types of fun. One's a very formal fun, and one's a come back and win prizes and eat junk food and. So,
Have
Well,
a good time.
not just Conrad and I, but this whole community appreciates
I
all the work
appreciate
you guys
that.
put in.
And if people want to contact me and find out how they can see it, we usually have a time where we let people
During
know.
Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon, that it's all set up. If you want to
We'll
come
open
to
the
door
doors.
10 and beat on the door during these set times, we will let you in so you can see the prom magic before the kids
Well, that's
get
pretty
there.
neat.
Yeah, we do
That
that
is
a lot.
cool.
Yeah.
That's,
And I tell everybody that she's the real prom queen.
Awesome. Where's your crown?
Hey, well, that is something that we
There's a
didn't
lot
tell
of
them.
them.
We want to make sure that if they get on the prom court, that they get something. If you got that far through
and
the
girls.
voting, that you get something. So all of my girls, I have 4 on the prom court of girls. There's the queen, and she gets the biggest tiara. And the
Right.
kids always, they are horrible big. They hurt your head big. They're
Kids always want the
like
biggest one.
6 to 7 inches tall
Oh,
type
my.
of tiara.
Nice.
Yeah, and
If it
they're
doesn't make a
pageant
ring around their
quality.
head, they don't want it.
Yeah, and then we always get a smaller version for the runners-up so that every girl feels like she's a princess
that's good.
if she got on the court.
And Shallan works hard to make sure that they match
I
some
know,
way.
yes,
go
they
with
have
the
to
theme.
match and go with the theme, yes. And then my boys, the king always gets the crown, and then my runner-up boys get some sort of themed, I want to call it a
medallion.
necklace, a medallion. Last year, they got medal that they got in the first Star Wars at the end of the movie.
Oh.
For the
Yavin?
ship one, the,
I think it's the Medal of Yavin.
they got
Oh, they
a
got
commemorative
coin from the Titanic,
Titanic.
about the
Huh.
Titanic.
Okay.
So, and this year
She
we've got
makes them all
something that goes along with that, kind of along the theme.
And she
So-
can make them all into necklaces
Yep.
because she teaches jewelry.
Yep.
Wow.
So, yeah, we always make sure that set 8 kids that make it through that first voting, they all get something
That's good.
special
That's-
to
yeah.
remember that they were part of the royal court. So,
That's awesome. Well,
I do try on the tiara.
we appreciate your hard work and going into this because I'll tell you right now, it takes a special person. I couldn't do
does.
this. Don't let me plan the prom. It'll be so
You want to
basic.
come help? We'll let you come
It'll
help.
be some potato chips and punch and some music that I'm Bluetoothing on JBL soundbar.
There you go.
We've been told several years now that it's the biggest party in Grant County.
I think that it's highly possible. And we do have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Is it Miss Cinewell Prom?
Mhm.
Okay. You have to be approved, but if you just send us a request, we put you into it. Just because we had to make it a private group because we had some people wanting to sell stuff on there, and we try to keep that from happening.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Spam.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting tagged and I'm like, I go look at it and I'm like, I've never heard of this person. They're trying to sell me a Mrs. Cinewell shirt.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Probably got some of those.
Yeah, somebody's taken over our class page
Oh,
of
really?
1996, and I never heard of some of these people,
No.
and they're foreign names.
Uh-huh.
So
Right, right.
I know who I went to high
So we
school
had to
with.
we had to kind of make, and we try to check that. I think she checks it several times
I
a day.
do. Yeah, and go through it and everything. As far as our T-shirts, I wanted to mention rookies because rookies.
Rookies is my man.
Rookies gear.
Good people.
Steve.
Steve Horn.
Yep.
He gets us the homecoming shirts, and that's a night.
That
Getting those ready for everybody.
Getting them out
in
to the community.
And then also, we're getting ready, real soon, we'll send him the order for.
he's supposed to get
prom
the
t-shirts.
prom order tomorrow afternoon. I think is what I told him. But with him being here in town, I am so excited about that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think I was one of his most excited fans about him being here in town.
Even him out of town, like
Oh, he'd
I
deliver.
would
Yeah.
order
Yep.
team stuff, and he would say, "Oh man, it could be 10 to 14 days." 6 days later, he's
Yeah.
knocking on my
Yep.
door.
Yep.
Rookies gear. They can make anything you
They,
want.
they
God
can,
bless
they
him.
can. I love working with them. I don't know how many times I've gotten a hold of him with homecoming shirts, trying to make it right for a student that left an order for him in a backpack, going, "Please, Steve, tell me you can get me this shirt for this, kindergartner or second grader that the order didn't get in on time."
Yeah.
He makes it happen. He's
Yes,
a good
he
guy,
does. Yep.
and his whole team is awesome.
Yeah.
We really do appreciate you ladies taking
Yes.
time. We're going to get this out.
Yep.
Thank you so
We're
much.
going to get the word out so we can see if we can't generate some dollars for these kids
Well, and the
to
money
have a
will roll
fantastic
over.
night.
Yeah. The money will
Anything that we
roll
have
Yeah.
left every year, it rolls over. Any water bottles that we have left over,
We
that
sell them
rolls
at
over.
Ducktail. Oh, that's another fundraiser. We
Oh,
do
yeah, we do
Ducktail.
Ducktail.
We sell at the
Uh-huh.
bridge between Jonesboro and Gas City
Yeah. that's a
on the
good one.
Cardinal Greenway.
There you go.
That's a,
Sell
Yeah.
water to
Oh, it works.
yeah.
We get donations, usually coming from Jonesboro. The bikers will donate in the bucket.
The bikers.
I love me some
I love
bikers.
Dude,
I'll-
I know so many bikers,
Yeah.
and they're the most generous people.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
such a stigma about, hey, throw the stigmas out the window.
know.
Everybody's got a
We
heart.
stand there 13
Right.
hours on Friday during
Uh-huh.
Ducktail, and usually around 6 to 8 on Saturday.
On Saturday until the water
And
runs
sell
out.
water
Yep.
bottles cold and take donations, and it's a good money maker.
That is. Yep.
Mrs. Childs, Mrs. Little, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yep. Thank
so
you
much.
both.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
All right. See everybody later.